Okay, folks, Mitch and Tony here. We're doing we had a very eventful evening. We did an unboxing. You guys will check that out later.
Yep.
We did a game night. Not going to tell you what the theme is. You guys can check that out later. And now we've got time to do a Q&A live session here. So normally we hadn't planned on doing this, but by God, it's only
the night is
9:45. Yeah, the night's young,
is
so you know.
Some of us don't work tomorrow.
Bastard. I'll drink for that.
I'll drink because I don't work tomorrow.
Yeah, so we're doing a little Q&A on DBA 3.0. If you guys are chiming in, you got any questions, feel free to ask us, and we'll try our best to respond to that. But one thing we wanted to do, well, we mainly just wanted to get more, it was just an opportunity to get more airtime, but we did have one question that I told this gentleman that we weren't going to answer, and I reneged on that. We're going to answer it. So, David Frampton, who was generously donated the winless
Solid.
Sam Knights. Yeah, the
Solid
Sam
Sam
Knights.
Knights.
Yeah. Well, they haven't won yet, but they'll get their chance to get a win in.
They're solid.
What?
They're solid.
Is that why? They just need some allies. They need a few more other things. But anyways, so the question he had, he's kind of new to DBA. He has played other systems, but he is new to DBA. And one of the questions he had was wanted us to go over what quick kills were, and we figured we would take the opportunity to go over what quick kills are, even though I think it's something that most people are not confused about. But we will go ahead and go over that anyways. If any of you guys are chiming in and have any other questions, just go ahead and type them in there, and we will go into them afterwards. Otherwise, we'll have a really short video.
There you go.
Well, we'll find some other nonsensical thing to talk about. So, anyhow, okay. So quick kills. So quick kills is kind of a funny thing because it is a term that is being used that's actually not in the rules. So what we refer to a quick kill normally in DBA, just about every single element you have to double. Okay, so quick kill refers to anything where you outscore the element, and the element actually picks up. So we're gonna go in, zoom in here, and you guys know that this is basically a live, non-rehearsed thing, so you might see stupid shit happen.
Exactly.
So, my apologies, or maybe you guys enjoy that.
Well,
okay, so
the easiest one was bow units. Bow units versus mounted.
Okay, so if any mounted encounter a bow unit and outscore the bow unit gets eliminated.
Even if they're in bad going.
Even if they're in bad going, which is, I think that's a change from earlier versions. So
if they get anywhere.
If this bowman is in bad going, okay, and he gets outscored by any mounted, it could be light horse.
Yeah.
Okay, or knights or anything like that.
Anything.
Light horse. Okay.
Yep.
All right, they get
destroyed.
they pick up. All right. Also, the bow could be complete. This is as insane as this sounds. The bow could be completely in bad going, and the light horse go all the way in. So the horse is a 0 versus a 4. The bow will still pick up.
I've seen this one.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually makes more sense than that one.
Yeah.
Because now you're at least still a 3
to 4.
3 to 4.
But if the elephant wins, he destroys the bow.
Okay. There you have it. That's a quick kill.
Quick kill.
The most typical quick kill is a light horse on a knight.
Yep.
If the light horse outscores the knight, game over. Obviously, if the knight encounters the Saloy in the open, game over. Heavy foot, game over.
Yep.
It's equivalent of doubling. It's like it's a fast forward doubling basically.
Yep.
And there's and of course the one that doesn't work on the hard box, the knight versus the elephant. The elephant will quick kill the knight.
Yes, but usually knights, I'll go head to head.
Artillery against elephant. That's one of my. That's my favorite.
That's a shooting one where an elephant will get killed if he gets shot by an artillery.
It's anything that. So a quick kill is anything that's referred to anything that just merely outscoring the element will eliminate the other element. It's really simple to understand.
It's
just,
kind of like a sense of a mismatch. It's an easier way instead of doubling to try and get the quicker kill on a unit. Try and get that matchup.
if you're in a combat and you are on the losing end of a potential quick kill, it's probably a combat you shouldn't be getting yourself into.
Yep.
Generally.
And sometimes you can't avoid it.
Sometimes they come after you.
Yeah. Well, Romans against blades against warbands. I mean that gonna match up
Blades
sooner.
against warband.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're gonna match up sooner or later somewhere along the line.
So quick kill is a term that is used. Well, I mean, I've been playing for 16 years now, and I was introduced to it. They called it a quick kill in 2.0, and there's nothing in the rule that calls it a quick kill. It is just simply when you outscore the enemy element, they're eliminated. So it's a mismatch.
Now, side chariots are kind of cool because
they're kind of a self quick kill, right?
Yeah, it's like if they
Paper tiger.
either they win or they lose, no matter what, even on a tie or less, then they're dead.
How many armies can have side chariots?
I don't know. How many?
You want to take a guess?
I'll say 6.
You're probably close. I think it's 3.
There you go.
It's not very many.
Yeah.
But side chariots, I know this doesn't come up very often, but side chariots are like Soloi in that, if they're fighting someone and say it's a line, and as long as they're corner to corner, this guy doesn't give them a -1. Let's get that closer review here. Okay. The other thing interesting about side chariots is we don't see side chariots very often.
No.
So we've
only
got
a handful of armies.
100 or so games on there, or so,
Yeah.
and maybe only 2 of them involve a side chariot.
Probably.
Okay, so there's just not that many armies that have them.
Yeah.
You've got them in your Achaemenid
Seleucids,
Persians,
yeah.
Seleucids.
Yeah.
Who else? Does your Cyropaedic Persians have them? I don't think they do they?
Don't think they.
Oh, you're Mithridates.
Yes.
Mithridates
Yes.
has them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Galatians also own one.
Uh-huh.
There's not many.
Yeah.
It may be 6, but it's
pretty good. I got
pretty low.
3 of the armies right there.
Yeah. I wonder what he's building.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, so they're cool. They're just another element. But they cost 2 pips to move all the time unless they go into close combat, in which they cost only 1.
Yep.
And they move what? Like cavalry?
I believe.
Or knights?
No, like knights. They move like knights, I'm pretty sure.
And they don't count against your getting to 4 elements.
Oh, they do move like cavalry.
They do move like cavalry.
Yep.
Okay.
But their combat is 3 against foot, 4 against mounted.
So they fight like knights.
Yep.
Except if they get outscored, they go poof.
And it costs 2 to move unless they're going into combat.
Okay, so interesting element. Only a handful of armies have those. So hopefully that helps understand a little bit more about what quick kills are. But that's all it is. It's just outscoring the other element. And
then there's a cool deal with the light horse. Can double up against an elephant.
And improve their quick kill.
Because normally they're 2 versus 4. You get their light horse behind them, then it becomes a 3 against 4, and they quick kill the elephant. So that's a nice little trick too.
Mm-hmm.
Or it takes a while sometimes, but get the old Soloi hooked up to an elephant, and that can.
So this is a 2 to a 5.
Yeah.
Normally, okay. If he gets outscored, he recoils. The elephant moves forward.
Hopefully
if he gets doubled, he doesn't flee.
Nope.
He recoils. The elephant moves forward. So eventually, the elephant's going to die unless the elephant ends up pushing the Soloi all the way up against the edge of the board.
Yeah.
Have we seen that happen?
Close.
We've gotten to like here.
Usually, the elephant finally rolls a 1, and the Soloi gets lucky and gets the.
I mean, it could happen.
Oh yeah, it could.
But
That's the best way to take an elephant out of the game, though. Put a Soloi on him.
something you need to keep in mind is if you have the elephant that's towards the edge of the board, and the Soloi comes in and contacts him on the rear, on the side, the elephant turns, and now you only have this distance until you get into trouble. Now, normally Soloi would flee, right? If they got to the edge of the board, they would hit and they would flee and they would come back this way. But if they recoil, they're here. And if they recoil, they're here. And if they recoil, now they die.
Yep.
So it's not like you can just recoil and come back this way. So watch out when you look out for flanking elephants.
Yeah. Could be a bad.
Yeah, but usually you stick a Saloy in front of the elephant, and it's kind of on the elephant's on autopilot.
I like to draw them in between because then you get one chance if you draw them in between, where it's a 2 to 3. Well, maybe 2 chances.
The other thing you got to watch out for, and we've had this happen before, is we'd have a matchup where there's been a camp here. Obviously, this is not a legal placement for a camp. We'll just pretend this is towards the end of the board. I don't want to move everything, but we've got this matchup that happens up here, okay? And then he gets recoiled and he moves forward, and he gets recoiled and he moves forward, and he recoils and he moves forward, and they're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna die," because if you get the camp will keep you from recoiling. You'll get one recoil here, and now your next recoil you pop. So. And it's a pretty big number. It's a 5 to 2, so it's not likely to win the combat against the elephant.
Need that 6-1.
But it could happen,
6-1 or 6-2.
It's up to the elephant.
Yeah.
You need the elephant to roll a 1 or a 2.
Yep. And you got to roll a 5 or a 6 at the same time.
So, so that's quick kills.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
David, I don't know if this was useful, but there you have it. I said I was going to do a video on it, so. Okay, so, any questions? No, screw you guys. All right, so what are we going to talk about?
How about?
Well, one thing we haven't done is your favorite army. What's your favorite army?
Ooh.
Everybody has a favorite army. What army do you hate?
Ooh, what army do
that
I
you've
hate?
used?
I
gotta be so negative.
Yeah, I know. Starting out with the hate first.
Well, everybody does, what's their favorite army?
Yeah, I was trying to think.
What army do you own that you dislike? Early Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah. Because, that's a boring army.
11 elements of solid warband.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a boring army. But they're really pretty. But it's a really bad army.
Oh, we got a question. We got stop the presses. Rick is just fresh from eating the shoe.
Ah, how was it?
So when we were playing our Napoleonic game, and we were trying to get people to guess what battle it was, Rick says, "I bet it's this game, or I'm going to eat a shoe." And he was wrong. So hopefully he didn't get any indigestion.
Hopefully it's sauce.
So, his question is, Rick has his own channel and has some really cool stuff. You know the thing about Rick, he's a worse cook than I am.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, true story. Okay, so what is your... It still hasn't passed yet. Nice. Nice. Okay. What army do you hate to play against? That's a good question. You first. What army do you hate to play against?
Man, that is,
Rick's out in eastern Nebraska. The middle of everywhere.
I would say, I think it's kind of rough to play against Romans.
Which ones? Which one of the 12 Roman armies?
Yeah, exactly, right? I think when they got a lot of those blades.
Which army is it tough to play against? Not the frickin' Turks, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. I'd say Romans. When you're enemies of the Romans.
When you're enemies of the Romans, it's tough to be an enemy of the Romans.
Yeah.
It's better to just be assimilated. Just pay your taxes and
we're not worthy.
Be one of the guys. So, what makes it hard to play against? Okay, so what makes it difficult to play against is an army that has a high aggression, which means you don't get to pick what the terrain is at all.
Unless you like doing that. Because you do set up second. But you don't get to choose the terrain.
But then you also have an army that has very little variety in troop types, and as a troop types that you do not want a forest. Okay? So you do not want to be, of course, I'm kind of taking the question and flipping it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of like the Scythians, which are like aggression
Yeah.
4 and have nothing but light horse.
All these mounted guys.
But
all light
who do
horse.
I hate fighting? Well, I personally don't like fighting civil wars. So when you're fighting the same army, because they just bore me.
Yeah.
I don't like fighting a lot of bow.
And you're mounted.
No, I don't like fighting a lot of bow because I like using bow. Why do I like using bow? Because you can roll a lot of 1s and nothing bad happens to you if you're in the shooting phase.
Unless they're shooting back at you.
Fighting against, I would say.
Yeah, it makes for a bad game if you're all mounted and they got bad going terrain.
I don't know if there's more armies that I dislike to play than there are armies that I dislike to fight against. It's not like, oh, it's the Free Company again. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, oh crap, I'm done. I'm doing the Ottoman Turks. It's more of the, there's more armies that are difficult to win with because they have a high aggression and they need
Mongols.
to like fight in the open.
Mongols.
And it's usually armies that need open ground, not more that armies that need to fight in a forest. So in other words, I would be more comfortable with a high aggression army that has a lot of Saloy than a high aggression army that is all light horse. Because light horse cannot fight in the freaking open.
Yeah.
I mean in bad going. They can't fight in a forest. Period. End of story. They're not going to win. They're going to be a 0.
Yep.
You know, where Saloy are still a 2 in the open, and we've seen them gun down.
Yeah, they've done some stuff.
We've seen them gun down knights.
They can do it.
It's not likely, and it scares the crap out of you.
There's a chance.
You gotta have some brass ones.
Chance.
But I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's more of a chance. So.
Yeah.
But armies that I hate to fight against, I don't know. Those freaking early Swiss raped me good.
Should I beat them?
They raped me hard, and I didn't even get to pick the hole. They raped me hard.
I got lucky against them. I put them in the woods, so they had to pip everybody out, and I caught them before they got out.
That's the toughest army I've fought in memory. I can remember.
They're nasty. They're all fast blade. They're all solid or deep units.
So Blade. Okay, I don't like fighting Blade because I think Blade can take on knights any day of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they get quick killed by knights, but if they lock, it's over for the night.
Yep.
Okay, so I think early Swiss are pretty nasty. Now the downfall of early Swiss is their aggression 3, and the other downfall is they're not very they're not a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
They don't have that many different type of troops.
Yep.
Okay, so you know, for an experienced player, I would love to have one of every troop type. Yes, including warband. You know, but you want different tools so that you've got, you know, you can maximize what your opportunities are to inflict nasty stuff on your enemy. But that's the only one I can think of that that lately was a pain to deal with was Swiss. Because the problem with having a bunch of blade is they're slow, right? So you can outflank them. But what if the blade are fast?
Yeah.
And they get +1 against foot.
You're in trouble.
I mean, a fast blade general that's a double element is nasty.
That's a 5.
That's a nasty joker.
He's super bad.
You know, plus he's got that big pipe. Ricola.
Yeah.
You know.
A 6-5.
Yeah, they're
He's
nasty. Yeah, it's nasty. So
nasty boy.
Early Swiss, I don't want to fight early Swiss. But you know, the thing is if you do fight early Swiss, at least you get the idea that, you know, whoever built that army had to paint a lot of freaking figures. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty tough.
A lot of people would say probably Hussites. But the problem with Hussites is they're kind of a one-trick pony. And if you show up with, you know, a bunch of blade, my seafarers can deal with the Hussites just fine. They got 6 blade.
Uh-huh.
Just walk them toward. I mean, yeah, I could roll a 1 and they get blown away, but, you know. I can't.
You know, one time I played Don with the Hussites. It was kind of a boring game because there's woods and stuff. They actually had to move around terrain. So.
With the Hussites?
Yes.
That took forever anyway.
Yeah, they're not very fast.
Who played the Hussites?
I was the Hussites.
How did he deal with them? Was that the battle where he took a pikeman and a bad going?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
We still talk about that, bringing a pikeman and a bad going, and it was a 1.
Yeah.
Did he win that battle?
Yeah, you did pull it off.
Really?
I was surprised.
So the record is anytime a pike goes in a bad going, they win?
It must be.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, here we go. Does it truly bother you when your opponent's bases aren't up to Litko standards, mostly tongue-in-cheek?
Yeah,
it's mostly tongue-in-cheek.
Does it bother you?
It's mostly tongue-in-cheek. It's mostly it's mostly tongue-in-cheek. I kid that so here's the interesting thing about the battle across the pond, so to speak. So in the UK, and this is from my perspective, it might be completely wrong, but from my perspective, cork is extremely expensive in the United States. And if you look at any of the sites that do, like, if you look at any of those how to build terrain or anything like that, done by Citadel or Warhammer or who is it, Games Workshop.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell they're talking
Yeah,
called
they
now.
are.
Drink.
Nope. I drank all day.
Do you need another one?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
You sure?
Even though I'm not working tomorrow.
And you can find your own home.
Yeah, I can stumble across the sidewalk.
Yeah, look out for the rocks. The Games Workshop stuff, how to build miniature terrain, they use, like, if you're using, like, walls or anything like that, they always say use cork board. Cork is extremely expensive in the United States. Unless you buy one of those trivets at IKEA, those are only like $1 or whatever, and you can, like, break them into bits. True story. So if you guys are in the U.S., make sure you go to IKEA, buy all those little round trivets. They're like $1 or whatever, and you can break that down. But no, other than that, cork is really expensive here. Okay? Wood is relatively cheap here. So like Litko stands, any of that stuff. So if you go to UK, you see most of them are basing on metal stands. You know, the problem with metal stands is that they have sharp corners.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried about getting cut. But the problem is that if you pick up something, it's going to get scuffed up here on the corner. Okay? Because paint is going to rough up easier on the corner, and that doesn't really work. But the reason I went with Litko stands is I was fortunate that the first time I got into DBA, there was a vendor that was selling DBA armies and also Litko stands. They were the only stands he had. And I kind of liked it. I liked the idea that they had magnets on them so I could kind of protect my investment. But, you know, other stuff worked. There's lots of guys use MDF or stuff like that. But they also use what they like to call card, okay? Which is, you guys don't have any wood because you chop down every tree in your freaking country to build your fleet, and that's no good anymore. But yeah, that's the thing. Wood's expensive in the UK, hard to get a hold of, but cork is cheap because, you know, Portugal's right there next to you, and they still have that scissoring thing they have with Portugal, UK. No, true story. They have, I believe, the longest alliance with Portugal since like the 1300s. They're asshole buddies with the Portuguese. Wow. Yeah.
Must be nice.
Well, you know, in Napoleonic times, a third of their army was Portuguese, and then like half of their army was Dutch Belgian or whatever. So you know, there was like two British guys going, you know. No, true story. They're but cork's a really cool product. So, but it's very expensive here. But I don't have a problem with other people do stuff because it's important. If you guys have seen us play, you need to verbalize. Okay, this guy's in corner contact here. That kind of stuff, so that, you know, when discrepancies happen, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's all an understanding. I think that's what makes DBA great, is that you can pre-measure everything. People go, well, that's stupid. No, it doesn't. It avoids so many arguments.
Exactly.
You know? And I just think it's much better. I just think it's much better to have a game where we are demigods, and I don't mean to pat each other on the shoulder, but we can see everything that's going on. So you don't have to be like, okay, let me leave the board for Fog of War. So the Fog of War, there's no Fog of War.
Yeah.
You just have these elements that don't listen to you. And that's And that's the effect of the pip dice. You can't do everything you want each bound. And I think that that's better so that both people experience the good and the bad and the tribulations and the headaches together instead of like let's say it was hidden pips. I didn't know what you rolled for pips. Okay? You could roll a pip like 6 times in a row and I don't realize that you're suffering from that injustice of karma.
Yeah.
Or maybe you deserve it because you made fun of some battle previously talking about peeing in the ark. True story.
And that does happen.
That has happened, yeah. So anyhow, I think that that's a better system. I wouldn't have thought this 20 years ago. I would have thought it would be better to kind of dumb the player down. But I think it's better to have the player be all-knowing so we can experience everything that's going on. But then your knuckleheads just don't listen to you.
Yeah.
So whatever method you have of that, I think it makes a better game. You know, it makes a better game. So. What else we got? So no, it does not truly bother you. But if you guys have watched me, I razz everybody on everything. So, I mean, that's just, that's how I was raised. So, hi, Mitch and Tony. Is this Q&A session replacing the week's game? No! We've already played the week's game, and I'm not going to tell you what happened.
You have to watch that, too.
You have to watch that, too. It's going to take a couple of days to get that up, unfortunately. So, how many armies does Mitch own?
Unlike Don, where I have them all.
Get out your abacus.
Oh, there is that. I do have it written down, yeah.
All right, well, we're asking, he's looking that one up. We will go, pre-measurement should be a rule in all games. Absolutely, Kelly. Kelly, you're from Michigan, aren't you? No, there's anything wrong with that. I'm just trying to remember. I think so.
So I got 30.
I agree. Pre-measurement should be a rule in all games because it avoids arguments. I mean, really, I'm going to be completely honest with you. My experience with gaming, and maybe different for you, but I don't think you're going to disagree with me. The purpose of gaming is to build the narrative. It's the narrative that's interesting. Like, we have no control over the storyline. Something's going to happen, and crazy crap's going to happen, and then we'll talk about it 10 years from now. That's really what it's about. You agree?
Yeah.
You agree or am I going to throw you out of your own house?
Oh, I guess I got to leave. No.
So this is your list, but this is not a legitimate list.
Yeah, because
you have
cheat.
Yeah, like, you're a Morpher. He's a Mighty Morpher Power Ranger. He's the pink one.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
I take the Greeks, for instance, and I got enough different troop types of Greeks to make any of the Greek armies, and most of them.
Okay, but you have probably 3 armies of Greeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you can't really count all this stuff.
No, but I can't count the book 4. I got 14 book 4 armies, 18.
You probably have about 50 or 60 armies.
Yeah.
But we morph the crap out of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's either that or you don't play the army.
Yeah,
it's not,
and I think that was kind of cool that one of the other videos we shot, a game we morphed together an army, the guy went and bought it now, and he's going to paint it. Joe is. You can see that on one of the other videos.
You mean when it comes out?
Yeah.
Well, you're like spoiler Mitch here.
Hey, there's an unboxing.
Yeah.
Hooray! So you can see that. I mean, but I thought that was kind of cool that
it's gonna be really funny. Okay. Because it's unscripted,
Yes.
So.
But I thought it was cool that playing a morphed army made him go out and buy it, and now he's gonna paint it. That was cool.
People want to see match pairs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better to morph an army and see a match pair than to use the right figures and never sometimes have an army that doesn't have any match pairs of them.
Because even the Romans, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they have a crap ton.
And I just morph all the different dudes.
So when we do those morph things, we don't really like to show, hey, these are the figures for that army.
This is exactly
well, they're not really the figures for that army, but
pretty close.
It's okay.
Although my Asian armies are.
Are they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I don't morph them too much.
Okay, so let's see what else we got. Yeah, we got stuff going on How many armies does Mitch own? Pre-measuring means should be a rule in all games. Absolutely. Tony, you've got... Golly, Rick, you got lots of questions. Tony, you've often pontificated...
Big word!
In that case. Pontificated that... let's see here. Oh, jeez.
Nope.
That's a comment. This disappeared. You often pontificated that you could prefer to roll a 1 in combat than a roll for pips. Does Mitch have similar feelings?
Oh yeah,
You do, right?
I hate rolling a 1 on the pips, because that sucks. Because then you're really stuck. I'd rather roll it in combat.
All I need is a 2 and you get a 1.
Yeah.
And then somehow you survive it. Next time you come around, okay, all I need is a 2 again. You roll a 1 again.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, what do I do, you know?
Because even when you're in combat, there's still a chance that guy might roll a 1 too.
That's true.
It's unlikely, but there's always
That's
a good
true.
chance.
There's nothing worse than being in a situation where, say, you have a classical Indian army, so you've got maybe some heavy elephants here in the center, and some bows on the end, and you need 2 pips to move everybody forward, and you roll a 1. So what do? Not move everyone, or move part of your wing that could get decimated?
Yeah.
So you don't move anybody. So next turn it comes around, you roll a 1 again. So then what do? Well, had you known that, you might have moved the bow forward, but it's the same thing applies. So you get in a situation where you basically get outsmarted by your opponent, and you get double enveloped, and you didn't really do anything wrong. It's like, I just never rolled higher than a 1, you know? I just had bad curry.
I've seen a couple different games.
But if you roll a 1 for combat,
yeah,
it's over. He's off the board, game over. You forget about him.
Or the other guy rolled a 1 too, and you're like, whoosh, dodges the bullet.
And he was a knight. Yeah, he dies. You know? So, there's that.
There is that.
But yeah, Pips is worse, so.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That may be the only thing we agree on. That's good. No, that's good. I don't want people that play the same way I do.
Yeah.
So,
Pips are
Craig
important.
Zinka, he gives me a peace out. Yeah, peace out to you, man. Good too. Or as I like to call it, I don't call it the peace symbol. I'm like, victory, man. Let's all kick ass together. Yeah. Yeah, Michigan. What's your tournament play point score system? Okay, interesting. So this is the NASAMWA, National Organization of... I don't remember what it is anymore.
Miniature gamers.
Yeah, it's something like that. National Association, National Society. Anyways, it was something that at the big cons, really only Historicon, that we went to, that kind of had this. They're the ones that kind of put the prizes together, and it's kind of defunct now. But they kind of came up with a scoring system for DBA. This was probably around 2000 and before 2008, before there was a DBA 3.0. So the system basically is, if you win, if you lose,
you get those points.
You get 1 point for each element that you kill. So if you lost, and so if the score is 5-4, okay, you get
4 points.
You get 4 points. That's it. If you win, you start with a base of 20, subtract what you've lost. So in a 5-4 game, you would subtract 4 points. So now you're down to a 16, and then you would add what you kill. So it would be a 21.
21 to 4.
And they just determined that was a good way. It really, and if it's a tie game, both sides only get what they kill, which I personally have only had one tie game.
Me too.
Over 2000.
No, I've had 2.
You've had 2 tie games?
2 tie games.
Were they both from Canada?
One was from
Don't say who they are.
Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And I think this.
Well, that can only be one of 2
Colorado.
people.
Colorado, I think.
Okay.
Colorado, and then one from here.
Oh, we know who the guy from here is. Who's the guy from Colorado?
He's young.
Oh yeah.
A nephew.
Yeah.
A nephew.
Okay. Is he? Well, he lives in North Carolina now.
Oh, he's there now.
Like
Hey, he moves around. He gets around. That was it. That was the only. Otherwise,
I only have one
all
tie
my
game in
games.
almost 2,000 games.
Yeah, I've had 2.
It just doesn't
That's
happen.
it.
It
Yeah.
just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not going to play for a tie. I tend to be aggressive.
Exactly.
There's always somewhere you can attack.
I'll do something to give you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, the whole
sacrifice
point is
that
to be
guy.
aggressive so that you could you're aggressive when you have an advantage to capitalize on it so that the next guy gets his next turn, rolls a crap pip die, can't react to you, and you can capitalize and keep the momentum going. It's all about keeping the momentum going.
Yeah.
I want to win the momentum game. I don't care if I lose it. I want to win. But the important thing is you want to control the pace of the game. That feels good. That feels good to control. You have if you react to me all the time, all rolls being somewhat even, the person who's reacting is going to lose.
And the one game is a terrain issue, and the other game is just took too long.
What do you mean, the ties?
Yeah.
Okay. So the terrain issue. So, note for you folks, just because you win terrain, like let's say you're fighting, let me give you an example. Let's say
it was your version of I had a lot of shitload. I think it had 9 elements mounted.
Right. So if you have, say, the Scythian army, or if your opponent has a Scythian army, and say you have
I had the southern
somebody that can put a lot of terrain down and likes to fight in the terrain. You can't just put a forest down because it's going to make the other guy turtle up. You got to give them. You got to. Well, first of all, it makes a shit game. Okay, the guy with light horse isn't going to go and charge in a bad going. Okay, so you got to give him, a chance that It's kind of like when you guys ever been to jury duty? It's kind of like when you go to jury duty. Okay, you want to be the one attorney that's like that thinks that they can get away with giving something away, but it's really to your advantage.
Yeah.
You need to give them a little bit of thing. So that, it's like you want to pick the guy, like nobody wants the guys that are obvious on both sides, okay? But you want to pick the guy that looks like he'll probably rule for you, but not give, it's a brain,
Yep.
So
Yep.
you need to give the guy a chance.
Within the game.
It's a game within the game, okay? You can't just put a huge forest because the guy's going to turtle up,
It's like, I can't go through there. Be like,
that's what happened in one of the games, right?
Yeah.
The guy put a lot of terrain down
and
and he sat in it.
And they were in the hills and stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm mounted. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. Yeah. So you gotta give a little to get a little.
Yeah. Yep.
So let me guess, he drew the game too.
Yep. Yep. And I dabbled a dude out there too. I put a guy like, go ahead, go after him. I wouldn't go for him. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a guy. You kill him.
Is that legal?
Wow.
Dabbling a dude?
Dabbling him. Yay, dabble. Ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly dabbled. There you go. Okay. Rutabaga. I got one in on you.
It's a new video.
Let's see. I physically saw a friend roll 10 ones in a single roll in a game of Epic Space Marine. We've had some crazy. The only way we rolled a ton of dice.
You've had.
I have
Elephant
incredible.
Army with 7 ones.
Yes,
Army?
I've played. Okay, so let's back up. I think you may disagree with me, but I think that on average, I roll better than average. Even though maybe the last few games I've played against you are not apparent to that. But if somebody says, hey, Tony, do you roll average or you roll better than average? I would say I roll a little better than average. Okay? I'm not woe is me, I got to roll the dice, I'm going to get screwed. There's other people from Pittsburgh that feel that way. Okay? I'm not that way. I would say that I roll better than most of the time. Rolling a lot of dice, other than that Napoleonic game we played, I rolled like a freaking fiend. That's never going to be, but that was D10s. I've rolled the Indian. I played the classical Indians one time. I rarely play with elephants, and it's. I don't know whether it's prevalent. I don't know if it's prevalent because you're aware that these elements take 2 pips to move them, but I rolled 7 ones in a row. If you look at what the odds of that is, I should go to the state of. If I rolled and played 7 ones in a row, I should be able to go to the state of Florida and sue them for not winning the freaking lottery. Because the odds of that are actually better than rolling 7 ones in a row. Yeah, so 10 ones is insane. But I've seen it all, and it doesn't bother me. I don't automatically assume that there's something wrong with the dice. lots of people are really spooky about dice. They'd be like, something's wrong with your dice, and you can't. You know, we've played thousands of games. I mean, we've seen everything.
I literally played a guy from Canada, and I felt real bad for him because he probably rolled the dice 20 times, and everything was like 1s or 2s, except for the middle of the game he rolled 1-3, and the last row of the game he rolled like a 4, but no 5s, no 6s.
So let me get this right. You whooped the Canadian's ass because he rolled so bad, and you felt bad, but he still apologized because he's from Canada. That's what they do. They're so freaking nice. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. I'll give you a better game next time. No, I felt bad for him, and he was bummed. And I'm like, man, I've never seen that bad of a. But then on the other hand, too, I have been in one game, and that was kind of fun. That we were both rolling, so it wasn't against you, but it was somebody.
Yeah, you don't have fun when you're playing me. I get it.
There's another guy. We were both rolling so crap. Like we were both rolling. I don't think any of us rolled over a 3 or 4 the whole game, and there was just like crappy rolls, but it made for a really good game when you're
I'll
both
take a
rolling.
4 in every die roll.
But they were low. They were all low, like super 1s and 2s, maybe a 3 every now and then, and the best was a 4. And that was a good game.
Well, that's the good thing about these games that have the matchup. I can roll a 1 as long as you roll a 1 at the right place.
Yeah.
You know, when I was playing what's those solid guys, Sand Knights, I'd roll a 1 and then you wouldn't cooperate. Asshole. That's what you call a Yankee. Anyhow.
So as many games that we played, you run across it all.
Let's see. Have you fielded army? Rick again. Okay, Rick's in the lead. Have you fielded an army that included a littoral landing but forgot the water terrain? No. I don't think we've done that.
No, never done that.
We make different mistakes.
Yeah, but not that one. only play because now placing them first. That can be. You start talking and it's like, oh crap, I forgot to do that.
Now, how many times you can actually put the water terrain as arable?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, if your opponent is littoral, it doesn't happen that often because there's not that many opponents that are littoral.
Yeah.
But it could happen that you're an arable guy and you put down a waterway. It's legitimate placement. Knowing that your opponent is littoral, so that they would stick their foot in their mouth and land somewhere and you could counterattack them and win the game that way.
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
Hey, there was one of our videos where I was up 3-0. And it was our sea people against the Egyptians. I was up 3-0, and he came back and won.
That was a messed up battle, though.
It was.
That was a messed up battle because the landing was in a demented place.
Yeah.
Hey, there might actually be a battle like that that's going to come up soon that might exhibit certain properties of that.
No,
but I'm not going to give it away.
I was up 3-0 on that other demented one.
Yeah.
I don't think it.
So littoral landings are stupid. They're stupid from a historical standpoint, from realistic, whatever. But I think they're a good balance for the game and allows you to add a situation that's not like this guy moves forward and this guy hits and that. You know, it adds it breaks things up. It allows zany things to happen and it builds an interesting narrative.
Yeah.
You know, which is, in my opinion, what's interesting is to, you know, it's like a choose your own adventure with die rolls. So. Okay, so we've got 5 likes so far, so I guess people are liking this. Maybe we should do this more often. Drink
to them, drink.
You gotta drink.
I ran out.
All right. Let's see what we got here. What's up, Mitch and Tony? All the fans watching. Man, your name gets even longer as we go. That's Wardrobe. So his name is Wardrobe, okay? Because he wears a robe all the time. And hey, he's not royalty or anything. He's just a guy that enjoys to wear a robe. Don't read more into it,
right.
Okay? He's a cool guy. He's a World War II. He's mostly a World War II gamer.
Right.
Okay? He's his handle these days is Wardrobe plays World War II, which he does play World War II.
Maybe
So look at
it's
his
around.
handle. WAR capitalized, and then ROB capitalized, the D small. So I call him Little D. What's up, Little D? He's a good guy. He's we did some. I think he's doing Flames of War recently, and he's doing whatever the modern one's called.
They
The modern Flames of War.
I believe they like because I did.
It's not called Fall the Gap. That's what I would have called
I
it.
played some Flames of War when it first came out, but I'm pretty sure
I
there's
forget
some
what the new one
changes
is,
to
but
it
he's
now.
doing that. Whatever. Yeah.
Team Yankee, right?
It's called Team Yankee.
Yeah.
I even read that book and can't even remember.
Aha!
It, you know.
It just popped into my head.
It pops into your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does advanced squad leader and all that kind of stuff. You know, kicking it old school.
Uh-huh.
Nothing wrong with that. Paul Beckus from Australia. When is the last time you faced off against an army that included an artillery general? Well, that's really easy to remember. That actually happened the 12th of Never.
Someday, though. Someday.
You can't even do that in Hot. In Hordes of Things, you can't have an artillery general. I don't think. I
Well,
don't
they're
think you
missing
can have
out. They're missing out.
Are
That's
they?
all there is.
Well, the funny thing is that if anybody would want an artillery general, it would be me, not you, because you don't like artillery.
I'm just
Do you
saying.
know what I could do with a 5-5 launching, like lobbing dirty diapers,
Maybe,
coconuts, rotten
maybe,
tomatoes at you?
The theme of the Napoleon, you know, because he's a big artillery guy. DBN will have an artillery general for the French.
Dude, I'd have like freaking Big Bertha. Freaking nail in your ass. You know?
Catch this.
What's that big Nazi gun that they had? The Gustav.
Which one? They got all
The
kinds
Gustav
of
one. That big, you know, it's like we're twice as big as the Bismarck's
Yeah.
gun, you know, like massive, you know.
big as bad.
Yeah, one of those big Nazi penis envy type things, you know. 800. It's 800 millimeter.
Oh
The
man.
Bismarck's 108. The Bismarck is 380 millimeter.
Big guns.
800 millimeter. Wow.
Big guns, little ideas.
Australian Greg. I once played a series of games using an average dice. I didn't realize it until late in the day. No wonder there were no 6-1 splits. Okay, have a drink.
It's in
This
the
is
morning.
like hanging with gaming buddies pre-COVID. Good.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like morning there, huh? So it's tea time there.
Yeah, we're not giving up. So hopefully it doesn't get so. There's still some freedom in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're not allowed to kiss above the waist anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's kind of monitored. You know, the secret
Maybe next
police
year.
comes by and checks on that. But until they say it's absolutely banned that we get together with folks, well, let's talk a little bit about that. I don't want to talk about COVID, but
For Christmas, I went to the movies,
to where?
to the movie theaters.
Okay,
They're
and
open. Just 6 foot. Went and seen Wonder Woman.
how are the movie theaters are
Too
closed
much
now?
of
though.
this and Wonder. But anyways,
Is
not enough action.
Is what's her name in it?
yeah, it was in it.
Okay,
but-
so it's worth watching.
Yeah, but man, I
Yeah,
like
she's
the
cute.
first one where she's kicking butt, taking names.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah. Not enough action though.
Yeah.
Too much of.
Oh well.
But it's
You're
worth.
doing
I mean,
this, and you need to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like
Movie
6
theaters
foot-
are closed now. Here
Well-
in town.
well, yeah, here
Well,
in
they're all
town.
run by Regal.
But AMC, they were open.
We don't have an AMC here.
No, I had to go to Jacksonville.
See, they made you move.
Yeah, yeah. But my daughter, that's something that my family likes to do. So my daughter.
What? Get
loves-
kicked out of your own town?
Yes, no. Go to the movies, so she's a big Marvels fan, so I was like, okay, we'll go see Wonder Woman. And
But that's DC.
yeah. Oh, okay. Well, superhero fan, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about the
It's like
superhero
superheroes.
stuff, but my daughter likes it or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went, she enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it, so it was a win-win.
True story. So you know AMC is owned by the Chinese.
Really? They got
I don't
everything.
make this stuff up.
They got everything. They don't own us. But we do like their armies.
We do like their armies, and I have nothing against the Chinese, but totalitarians suck. Whether they're communists or Nazis or you know, they ruffle my libertarian feathers. So
their armies are cool.
Their armies are cool, yeah. But anyhow, so we'll keep getting together every week. We'll keep doing videos. I've mentioned it before. We're going to keep doing videos until YouTube starts charging me. In which case, I'm coming to you for money, and I don't come to other people for money, so we just won't do any of the videos.
Exactly.
Okay. Until the state police come and knocked on our door and say, "Hey, you can't get together with somebody that you're not making love with." And you know, I mean, I like Mitch, but you know, and even though he knows what would possibly satisfy me, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're good. This is like Braveheart, Mel Gibson, freedom here.
Yeah. So no, but what do? You get. I mean, I'm around no one at work.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, I'm around a bunch of people.
Okay,
I
but
work with the public.
you get tested every day.
No.
You don't get temperature or nothing.
But I pretty much, you know, I stay away from like touching people, so I don't have to worry about it. You know, like, I'm a meat cutter. So,
I don't want to touch anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a meat cutter. So they tell me what they want.
You just be in the corner playing with your meat.
Yeah, hey! But so it's pretty easy job. I've been in it all my life, so it's nothing difficult.
Okay.
So yeah, I work around the public all the time.
You look very few people.
Yeah.
I'm around no one. I go home. Work days, unless it's Monday, I come here. Otherwise, I go home and I don't go anywhere. So, you know, it's not a big deal. I honestly forget this bullshit's going on. You know, so until I go to the grocery store and I'm like, oh shit, like I'll get all the way to the front and I'm like, oh, I gotta wear a mask. I'm like, what? I just forget. So, hopefully you guys ain't suffering too much, but, because I don't think this is going to stop anytime soon. But we'll still have more videos to entertain you guys, and
Definitely.
We enjoy doing them. We would rather do the videos than not do the videos, because all kinds of unbelievable, zany stuff happens that you wouldn't even believe. And if we weren't playing DBA, we'd be doing something else.
Yep.
Okay? So you guys have seen that, you guys that are... have no life and like to watch my painting videos, you know that I'm painting World War II stuff, and eventually we're going to do some World War II stuff. Now, it may be 3 years away or whatever, and I'm going to warn you now, it's extremely anal retentive, rivet counting, tread head stuff, okay? So it's not going to move quick, but the narrative is going to be insane, okay? And I don't mean by that it's going to be unrealistic. It's just going to be, there's some crazy stuff that's going to happen. Like, you're going to want to throw a grenade at one guy, it bounces off something, it hits some other guy, blows one guy up, one guy feels a morale check, the other guy feels a morale check, the other guy feels a morale check. You know, that kind of stuff that builds a narrative that creates a fun movie, it'll have all that stuff. So, anyhow, so we will, that's coming up in the future.
It won't be X-rated. It'll be violent, but it won't be X-rated.
It won't be X-rated. Definitely not made for children. But
there you go.
But anyhow, so that's
swearing.
You know, this is a great game, but we'd be having fun no matter what we were doing. So okay, next. How far do I have to go? Oh my gosh, I like it. Team Yankee, yes. Little D, I like that. What are some matchups that most utilize the most diverse element types would be a good beginner set to learn how to play DBA? Something that has limited element types. Okay, so welcome, Corey. I haven't seen you here before. Excellent. Let us know where you're from, and maybe we can hook you up with some people that play in your area. Mm-hmm. So that's actually a question that comes up pretty frequently, and they'll say, "Hey, I'm just starting DBA. What army should I get?" So what's the first thing I tell them?
Don't do Romans and Carthaginians.
That's not the first thing I tell them. That's actually not what I tell them.
Which one?
I tell them, "What the hell are you?"
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
And frequently I get, What do you mean? Well, where the hell do you come from? And then if they say they don't know, well, then there's no hope for them. But, you know, I mean, if you're English, if you're Scottish or whatever, if you're Scottish, do a Scottish army. It makes sense. I mean, unless
you're Mongolian, don't do the Mongolians.
Don't do the Mongolians.
Yeah.
So it's a great game, but it doesn't simulate Mongolian-type tactics very well.
They need some help.
They need some house rules. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll get to that if I ever build a Mongolian. Hey, they might be next. No? You don't think I should do the Mongolians?
No, we got
okay, chime in if you guys think I should do the Mongolians next.
We already got Magyars, Scythians. We don't need no Mongolians.
Anyhow, so, hey, why can't I build more bad guys? I should do the Russians before I do the Mongolians, right?
See.
All right. Okay, Putin.
So what would be,
So, that's the first thing I say, because that way, you know, you're kind of playing. Now, my lineage is Spanish. I don't like to play Spanish because there's too much on the line. I gotta win. My people gotta win. So it's a lot easier when it's like, oh, those guys died. I don't like those people anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot easier. No, but I mean, if you're looking for a, there's certainly there's some period that interests you to be playing this game. Either maybe you like Egyptian stuff, maybe you like medievals, maybe you like classical stuff with like Greeks or Persians or Romans or you know,
when I do
Mongols.
When we used to have the conventions, we used to have a session where I do
the Dark Ages conventions.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do teaching games, and people that haven't played it, and have them come up. And even though I did say don't do Romans or Carthaginians, that was one of the ones I would run, but I would extremely help the Carthaginian player.
Don't do Carthaginians.
Yeah.
So there's a thing, and I think it's human nature. It's a human nature to play the guys that didn't win.
They're great.
Yeah, guys that didn't win. Everybody thinks that, oh, let me play the Carthaginians because they have Hannibal. Well, you don't realize Hannibal made the Carthaginians kick ass. It wasn't like the Carthaginian army was great.
It was the leader.
Yeah, it was him. He was a freaking 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was brilliant, and the Romans were inflexible and bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
So they just like, go forward. It's easier to get to the bastards.
Yeah.
You know. So
use their weight against them.
yeah. So if you're gonna do a match pair, you know, the problem is that the Carthaginians they don't have any of the triad. And what's the triad? The triad is knights, blade, and bow.
Yeah.
That's the triad. Okay? And the Carthaginians have none of those.
Yeah.
And why is that a triad? Because it's a relatively solid element that
they support each other.
They can support each other and works, you know. That's why a really good beginner army but everybody has this army, except me, because everybody has this army, so there's no reason for me to build it,
I don't know which one.
Have a drink. New Kingdom Egyptian.
Oh, those guys.
New Kingdom Egyptian. Everybody likes New Kingdom Egyptian. Everybody read about them in 6th grade and knows all about, you know, well, mainly Ramses.
Them and the Sea People are a nice matchup.
Yeah, right. But nobody knows about the Sea People.
Yeah.
Who knows where they come from? Which sea do they come from?
Yeah, exactly.
Aegean.
Aegean.
Maybe.
I was trying to remember.
The jury's still out.
I was trying to think about the Trojans and the pike guys. Trojans and
Trojans and the pike guys?
Hittites. The Hittites. They're kind of a cool matchup.
Trojans and the Hittites fight each other? I thought you meant the Egyptians and the Hittites.
Well, they do. I think
they do too, but the Egyptian player doesn't have to take any risks.
Yeah.
So find what you're interested in and build one army first, an army that you're interested in. Almost all the armies are reasonable. And if you pick another army to fight up against, you know, say you got an army that's weak, so pick an opponent this week also.
Yeah, try and you keep it to where no matter who you play or the other person, you're about even, so.
One of our favorite events to run is Wimp Wars. And Wimp Wars, for those of you guys that don't know, is 6 elements of either light horse or Soloi. at least half your army is either any combination of the two. So you end up playing a lot of armies that people don't play in an open setting. We don't do really opens. We certainly don't do opens on the video. We don't need to do opens on the video. Everybody's going to play opens. They're going to, I want to use my most powerful army and whoop your ass with it. You know, everybody's going to do that. So Wimp Wars is really cool because you see armies that you don't see frequently.
Yep.
And
there's a lot of theme games that you can do. I think one that
which is what we mostly do.
Yeah, well, I think one year we did. I don't know what we called it, but it was bring the army of youth. It was cool because everybody brung an army that they thought was the worst
what's
army.
that called? Not the shittiest army ever, but utter crap. Complete utter crap.
Yeah, complete utter crap. So everybody had to bring an army that they thought was crappy. But the thing is, the first 2 rounds, the other guy's going to play your army and you're playing theirs. But then the final round,
so if I
you
show
have
up
to
with,
play your
so if
army.
I show up with Scythians and you have early Libyans, I've got to play their early Libyans and you get to play the Scythians.
Yeah.
Okay. In the first 2 rounds, it's 2 different opponents like that.
Yeah.
In the second 2 rounds, you have to play your own army.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So it makes for interesting stuff. And it was interesting because everybody had. I like it when
nobody picked the same army.
That's what I like.
That's what you want.
When people don't have the there's 2 Libyan armies. Oh, there's 1. And there's. Everybody had different armies. So
that's really the worst thing is when 2 people are playing the same army, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, but we've been pretty lucky that a lot of people pretty much got their own ideas.
Knock on Tapestry.
Yeah, not yet. But when we put on events, everybody's got different ideas, and I like it.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Do you play strictly what you see is what you get, or if someone wants to field a side chariot in their army but doesn't have side chariots model on the figure itself, do you allow it? We do allow it. We do allow it. And what we were doing for a while before we were doing the filming, somebody would either buy a new army or paint a new army. And in my case, paint. In your case, buy.
Yeah.
Because I don't paint stuff in.
And I don't. No, you
No,
paint.
I don't buy stuff and you don't paint. Right.
Exactly. Drink!
So, you don't have a drink. That's the Orange Crush, sissy boy.
Get him some more. This is the best time to play him, too.
Is it? When I don't care? So somebody will finish, I'll finish, say, my Hungarians. Hey, it's kind of coming out soon.
Ooh.
So what we'll do is I will play my Hungarians in every game, and the other person will play every single one of their matchups one at a time. So you get to see a variety, and sometimes the battles are balanced, and sometimes they're really unbalanced, and sometimes when they're really unbalanced, the side that is disadvantaged actually wins. And that is really freaking cool.
Makes it very interesting.
Okay, but so we do that, but we haven't filmed that since because, things have changed.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just you and me anymore. It's we got too much.
We got Joe just finished his army, so
yeah, people want to play their own
that.
army and stuff like that.
We played enemies of those guys.
But that's what we did for a while, and the mismatches really make for interesting games.
Mm-hmm.
But we were kind of doing that before we did the filming, because we didn't start doing the filming until late 2018.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
yep.
Anyhow, all you got to do is okay. So when all the people that come over here will just get freaking bedridden with COVID, we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so you guys can just go ahead and plan on doing that. And not that we need to wish them to have that on them, but it's that opportunity. If something bad were to happen to them, the upside is you guys get to see some of that stuff being filmed.
Yeah.
But no, we've got to morph stuff like that because that just allows different situations to come in. Yeah. So we'll try to get as close as we can, but anyhow, I think when we're doing book 1 stuff, it gets as zany as it is. Sometimes you'll be like, what are these medieval knights doing for the solid blade in this Akkadian army?
But you know they're solid blade.
But you know they're solid blade. So let's see. Tony's cut off. Well, you know, I'm leaning in and out. Come on. I mean, Mitch is better looking. Get your feet in the picture.
Oh yeah, here they are.
No, sick and twisted. There's a website for that. There's going to be a Facebook group for Mitch's feet. Play what interests you. Nebraska, Iowa. Okay. But elephants. Yeah, so elephants are kind of cool. Elephants are cute. They're fun to paint. They create some really crazy situations. Really crazy situations. We don't use them enough. They're fun to paint.
We do a theme every now and then.
I don't like. How do you like to use elephants? I like to use them as the.
I shock troop them.
You shock troop them, right? I always keep them in the second line counterpunch.
No, I like to put them.
Well, you've never been on the Eastern Front before. Yeah. That's the problem.
That's right.
You've never been a Nazi on the Eastern Front.
We're going in, and if I got like war bands or something, and
just pray to God.
Yeah, if I got war bands,
all of them. If you got war band,
or if I'm doing my pike armies, I like to put them in between stuff so that if I do their attack first and they make, if they get in there and they create a negative on the guy, they break through, then when I do my warband or the pike with a higher number yet, they're more likely to get a kill, hopefully. So I like to do that. I like to put them right in the front line with some other quick kill
angry
guys.
Your water bottles frequently?
Yeah, you know, suck the air right on. Hey,
I could say it's a limp something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because we're live.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's steering to starboard.
But yeah, I think they're cool. Elephants are cool.
Elephants are really neat. I like to keep them. I like to keep them as a second rank. So if you've got your line here of we did all that. It's not visible.
I moved up in the corner.
Did you?
So they could hopefully.
Nobody puts Mitch up in the corner.
Nobody puts me in the corner.
Okay, so if you've got your line here, or whatever, if you've got your line of heavy foot, in a perfect world, I would like to have, you know, what do I gotta have light horse?
I don't know.
Okay, say this is a knight and an elephant. Okay. In a perfect world, I want my heavy foot in the center. I want my bow on the flanks, and then I want knights, not necessarily light horse, knights, elephants, or something like that, in the second row. So if somebody punches through, they can come in. You know, somebody comes in and goes, "Ha ha! I got you now." Oh, really? And then you got over here with a double overlap. That's my preference, is to do the counterpunch. Okay. So in other words, let the other guy, so you constantly move the thing up. But, you know, yeah, you like them in the front row. I don't. I don't, because I don't want you to get a chance to shoot at them before they do the thing.
Well, if they got an artillery, I hide them in the back.
So all of a sudden you respect artillery.
Yeah, well, if they got an elephant.
Oh, okay.
Because I know how that goes.
Okay, so let's see. Elephants. What's your least favorite terrain type? Have you ever considered not collecting a particular army specifically due to the terrain available for it? Wow! Man, you're on a roll, dude.
Wow.
You're on a roll, dude.
I don't like rivers.
You don't like rivers?
I
Well,
don't
your
like
name's
them.
not Scott.
Yeah. I don't like rivers. I mean, I'll deal with them, but
Oh, hello.
but I don't like them. I've dealt with them.
What's your least favorite terrain type? There you go.
Rivers.
No.
Oh, type?
Yeah, like arable, whatever.
Oh. I don't really mind.
Let's just say all the armies that I have, they're of a dry terrain type. Can't win freaking games!
So that's what he does, like dry armies.
No, I don't like them. It's not an issue of that.
Just can't win with them.
I just can't win with them.
Oh.
That's not true. I run my Rajputs as dry. It's my courage. My courage. I don't think so. I get tired of every army being arable. It gets boring.
I think Littoral, I guess. I mean, I like Littoral, but
Okay. I don't dislike
if I don't have a Littoral army, then my camp's got to be all the way over here, away from the water.
All right, how many times have you had your camp taken?
Yeah, not too many.
Let's check your records.
Yeah. Well, there's only...
I know.
Yeah.
Only 4 times in almost 2,000 games. 3 by the same person. 1 by you.
And I've lost it more than you. And probably the guy that's got yours the most, he's the one that's probably taken mine.
Probably. He has a thing for that. He has a fetish, a camp raping fetish.
He loves stealing clothes.
Well, the problem is his women cook so bad that he'll take any kind of like, it's the soup of a month-old shoe.
So here's the deal, guys. We wait till they start breakfast. You guys go up and you draw them out, and we'll go get the breakfast.
And they don't care if they eat that blood pudding or that weird stuff you guys eat in the UK.
Or shoes.
I'd rather eat shoes than freaking blood sausage and shit like that.
Yeah.
Baked beans and blood sausage.
Yeah, I know I've lost my camp. Probably at least
4. That's why I keep records, because it's cool. Like somebody asked me, I don't know, like 6 months ago, hey, how many times have you lost your camp? Well, hell if I know. Let's look, So I ended up taking a camp maybe 11 times or something like that.
Probably 2 or 3 of them have been mine.
It's not part of my plan, though. I mean, if you set up your camp here and your whole... There you go. If you set up your camp here, there you go, and your whole army's over here, I'm going to go after your camp because you're freaking left it undefended. But that's not really a...
tactic.
That's not a tactic for me.
I
like to keep my guys in command, if possible.
Yeah.
So.
If it's right there, okay. If things are really bad, I'll go get it.
Yeah, but it's especially now in 3.0, it's only worth 1 element. So. Let's see what else you got. What's my least? So what is your least favorite terrain type? You have to pick one.
I said Littoral.
Rick says you got to pick one. He doesn't say that, but that's what his question is.
I think Littoral.
You dislike Littoral the most.
If I don't have it. If I'm running Littoral, I like it. But if I'm up against it, I don't like it.
Okay, what if your army, you have an army.
Yeah.
And it has a terrain type. What terrain type would you hate for it to have?
I guess dry, too.
See, I got him.
Dry.
Dry?
Yeah. Because dry's kind of boring.
What do you got to be like that?
It's just boring. Dunes.
Where's the cheat sheet thing?
Where?
Give me one of them so I can see what the terrain types are.
It's dunes and oases and...
Steppe. I don't like steppe.
The steppe's already got rolling hills.
That's the problem.
I love rolling hills.
I'm a cheapskate and don't want to give I don't want to accidentally put a hill that my opponent can sit and camp on. But here's the thing. I haven't experienced that.
Yeah. And I haven't, you know what I use?
I haven't experienced that, but I'm afraid of like placing, because you can't put a road down either.
But you know what's fun? But see, what I do with those hills is, let's say somebody's got an artillery general. And I use the
cheating
hills,
if they have an artillery general.
I use the hills to block their artillery so I can run my cav closer.
It's almost like you've done that in a game at Historicon.
Oh, a few times.
Not against me.
They got artillery. I'm going to put a hill out, and then I'll use.
What if they have 2 artillery?
Well, then I block one of them. Yeah.
I probably dislike steppe the most because it's 1 to 2 gentle hills. So I have to put a gentle hill down, and the opponent could get control of it.
Yeah.
And camp on it. I'm afraid of that.
You go after the guys in the valley.
I'm afraid that could be the situation. That's my boogeyman, I guess, of terrain. Littoral, I don't mind Littoral because I feel like if I have Littoral, I have.
It does mess you up though.
But I feel like I have an edge over most people putting terrain down.
Yeah.
Because I can think outside the. Well, I've played a lot of freaking games.
Yeah.
I could be a dumbass.
Yeah.
Okay. I may even be a dumbass. Okay. But I've seen enough different things that I kind of know how things are going to play out. Like, nope, I don't want to lose the game that way. I'll find a different way to lose the game. You know?
Yeah.
You can always find a different way to lose the game. So. Rick. Never-ending Rick. He's got the belt-fed questions. I love it.
It sure must be digested by now.
What's the most effective use you've ever gotten out of a warband? Like multiple up together in the center, a couple further out on each flank, etc. My most effective use out of warband is they never got into combat.
Flank. I try and get him on the
And
flank.
you like the fast ones.
Yeah.
So the problem with warband is, okay, let's back up. I don't like any unit that's impetuous. I don't like the impetuousness of a unit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a control freak. I don't like the idea of like, all right, we got him. We've crushed him. As long as we don't move forward. What are you doing, pal? Oh, we're going forward. Stand still. You know, so I don't like the impetuousness of them.
But you like hordes.
But they don't count.
That's
and
true.
you got to double them, okay?
Yeah. They're nobodies.
So I don't like the fact that a unit is impetuous. Why don't I like the unit is impetuous? Because it can get double overlap. And it's easy to kill. A warband has shitty numbers to begin with. Against mounted, there are freaking 2. So you got one flank on a warband. You get in a situation all the time where you have a -1. We're outflanked by 1. Now your core number is a 1 and you're not Saloy. Because Saloys actually can't be killed by a lot of guys.
Right.
They can't be killed by the guys that have really big numbers. Can't kill Saloy.
Well, you know, like I like to do is most of your warband armies against the Romans, you have a Saloy. So when you hit that, you're gonna be overlapped somewhere. So when that warband hits, you get 1 turn.
That's
with
right.
the Saloy.
He's playing keep away.
Yeah.
Hey, look at me over here.
You get 1 turn where
So these guys don't get a -1.
Yeah, you get 1 turn, you get 1 crack at it, and hopefully you do that, because then you're in good shape. If you don't do that, you're in trouble. You're in deep doo-doo if you don't get lucky and the Saloy buys you 1 turn to get through. But if you do that, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that their numbers are really low, especially against mounted. I don't know that they're really effective against anything. I'm the most comfortable against warband versus bow, because they'll stay into combat and keep them from shooting the crap out of your other units. But other than that,
I think they're kind of nice against spear, because you can get that 4 to 5.
Okay, but no, but the warband is the spear can be a 5.
Yeah.
And there are 4 doubling up, so you're giving up 1 thing of frontage.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, I don't mind having 1 warband, because there's always something you can have 1. I mean, I'll take 1 of each element.
Mm-hmm.
Is there 12 elements? Is there 12 different elements? Elephant, knight, cav, light horse, blade, spear, auxilia. Let's not separate it between fast and slow.
Yeah.
Warband, Saloy, artillery,
Hordes.
bow, war wagon. I'll take 1 of each. Do they make an army like that? Survey says, they don't make that.
No.
But that's a nightmare for a new player.
Yeah.
But I want tools against everything.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you can get about 5 or 6 of those, though.
A good close army for those are these the successor armies.
Mm-hmm.
But they lack the bow category.
Yep.
Or they lack the blade category, except the Ptolemaics. Ptolemaics and half blades.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you get that elephant, pikes, and a knight, a cav, a horse, light horse.
There's some people running around that hate pikes.
I like them.
I like them. I think they're cool. I think it's cool that you need to give up a flank.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And they look cool. You know?
And I really like Saloy again. Because they're very useful against...
You like Saloy?
War bands.
I didn't know that.
Against pikes.
I actually didn't know you like Saloy. Well, you know I like Saloy because, you know, never underestimate the Saloy. Now, I don't want 6 of them.
Right, exactly.
You know? But
if I had
I've won games with 4.
1 or 2, I'm okay. But
what about 3?
You start getting 3 or more.
What about 3?
Then you gotta start playing keep away.
You gotta decide 3? Is 3 good?
3 starts getting keep away-ish.
So I'd rather have 3 Saloy than 3 light horse.
Yeah.
Because Saloy can't get shot to shit by bow.
But I do like speed.
Yeah, I know you.
I love speed.
You like speed.
Those guys can multi-move.
Oh, man. Read that before battles they would get elephants drunk with wine. It made them surly. That's a lot of freaking wine. That's a waste of wine. And I'm not even a wine drinker. And that's a waste of wine.
And what happens when they gotta go before you get to the line?
They get pissed. They're pissed on both ends.
Damn it, Dumbo.
Oh, man. Huffman Samatoman. Bless you. Best place to buy painted armies. Well, it used to be at conventions.
Yeah. Historicon. That was nice.
Yeah, it depends. Do you want armies that are painted really well? If you do, there's people that sell them, but...
They're hard to find.
Yeah, are they selling that many on eBay?
Not as nice as... I looked, there's a lot on there, but they're not... They're okay.
There's a company that in Hong Kong that used to sell them called Dragon Painting Service, and their stuff was pretty reasonable. It used to, and I'm going to say like 5 years ago, their armies would go for under $200, including the lead, which sounds like a lot, but you know, you paint and figure out how much you'd have to paint yourself for, pay yourself for, and I don't know. I mean, there's the problem is how much you're willing to pay for them.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people, you know, if you start getting more than $100, $120 for an army, people aren't going to buy them. And I mean, I'm not selling armies for that amount of money. You know, I could work a very small amount of time at work and make that kind of money.
Yeah.
You know, so relative. I mean, you got to remember, I paint an army. It's going to take me 200 hours. So, you know, are you going to pay me $1 an hour? I'm not going to do it for $1 an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Your best year is what? You did about 3 armies one year?
I can do 3 armies in a year. I don't want to sell my stuff.
No, I'm saying
because I got to make videos.
I'm saying
you know?
when you do.
Yeah,
I mean, your best year is about 3 armies.
I had one guy actually that wanted to pay me twice the going rate. No, I mean if I sold my army, let's see, I want $25 an hour. So you're going to pay me $4,500 for an army? First of all, nobody's going to pay me $4,500 for an army.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd sell it.
Right.
Because then I don't get to make videos with it.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
You can't take the money with you, folks.
Nope.
You know? So, but at the same time, there's no way I'd pay $4,500 for an army. That's insane. But, you know, you got to think people's time is worth something.
Yeah.
You know, so... but who to paint painted armies for? I'd check eBay. I'd probably... Things come up there on eBay from time to time. You know? And, that's probably your best. The best bet was a convention. You need somebody who's just tired of looking at the sunset, and then you come along.
Yep.
You know? Other than that, you're going to be probably overpaying, so... Australian Greg. Under DBA 1.0, any element could be the general. So artillery general was entirely possible. That's it! We're playing 1.0. We're playing 1.0 and I'm building a Viking army. Because the Vikings, in 1.0 I understand, they were the invincible army.
Because they could have an artillery general,
No,
right?
because they didn't get quick killed by knights.
Ooh.
So imagine a shitload of blades that don't get quick killed by elephants or knights, or they just
mop up everybody.
And throw axes at you and shit like that. And they all have like that shield maiden girl.
See?
Yeah.
I'm with her.
I'll take some of that.
I'm with her.
We're coming for you. Thank you. All right. Let's see what we got. What is the deepest, most elements you've ever had in a column and then lost to combat? Wow. I know it's happened to me, but it hasn't been so many that it's been memorable.
Yeah, for me, it's only been 3.
I have seen... What have we seen? We've seen an element. We've seen an elephant at the front of a column that got recoiled and crushed 3 other spearmen.
So I've never I've never heard
And the person that did that is not here.
Yeah.
And the person that did that will never do that again.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing losing. The other thing is screwing yourself. Like, that is just epic fail.
Yep.
That was with Carthaginians, I think.
Is that what he had?
Either that or his Numidians.
Oh.
But they don't have enough deep elements. But all you need is 2 elements that are 15 millimeters deep.
Yeah.
The third one can be deeper than 15.
Yeah.
But the first 2 have to be 15 to get maximum stompage.
I hardly ever use the road.
I
Even
don't
though
use
it's
the road
I
either.
only use the road to direct the flow of the battle. But
I do as well.
If I get caught with 3,
Like,
it's
I'm the
because-
attacker. I get to pick whatever ties you
because
want.
I get shot
Screw
at.
you! You're only picking 2 of the 4.
It's because I get shot at. I get recoiled or something. I'm like, I think I can get one more move out of this.
Yeah. I don't know that I've lost. I don't think I've lost more than 1 element to it.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is like, you need to learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, when you see something like that happen, it's like, I'll lose the game, but I'm not going to let that happen to me.
Yeah.
I'll find a different way to lose the game.
Elephants are really dangerous, though. If they get a running start, they plow everything that they touch.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
But if they're up against something and they get recoiled, they die.
Except another elephant.
If
They both
they
die.
don't get a running start,
If they
die.
get a running start, they'll still kill
They'll
each
kill
other.
every
They'll kill themselves
yeah.
with the other
Yeah.
elephant and kill the other elephant.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty devastating.
But they're cool.
A recoiling elephant.
But they're cool
Oh,
because
yeah.
they create all kinds of zany situations.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
You
they
wonder,
do.
who the hell ordered a pizza with this many toppings?
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably the most devastating thing. Is an elephant on recoil.
Well, they're unpredictable.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is Fango Wolf from Texas? I lost a DBM game in 12 combat dice rolls in a tournament at Historicon. Okay. Well, that won't happen anymore because there's no Historicon. And I think they stopped playing DBM at Historicon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not enough.
It's a long hour commitment. It's a long, and
Yeah.
Some
You
people
said-
went to DBMM.
Oh, yeah.
Some people went to different things.
Yeah.
I never played it.
No, yeah.
I will never play it. Not because it's not cool, but somebody's got to run the game, and
Yeah.
I don't want to paint that many figures of the same thing. But all that cool stuff about whether it's raining or stuff, I think we would all appreciate that. Like crazy stuff would happen. That's just more zaniness that can be thrown in there. But I just don't want to play the game wrong 200 times before I ever play it right once.
Yeah.
And that's what would happen.
Well, like you said, here you can get more armies done instead of
Right.
painting one big army.
Right.
You can get 2 or 3 done instead
Right.
of doing one big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind. It's not a cost. It's just a time, and I don't want to learn how to. I don't want to. It's really depressing to play the game wrong when you're trying to play it correctly, and it happens
And
all
we
the time.
finally got this down.
You sure about that?
Close.
Close. We don't screw up. Hopefully, every game we do, we screw up less.
Yeah. Yeah, we
But-
screwed up enough earlier that I think we got it all.
Really?
Close. Or closer.
Michael Chalou, welcome. Chalou, yeah, that's gotta be what it is. BUAs, what are your thoughts on them? Once won a game with one as my opponent kept trying to storm it. Well, don't put a Spear General in one, you'll win.
I was going to say,
Or
I
your
won.
opponent will
Well,
win.
one time I won it in 2 dice rolls, I think it was.
I
rolled a
think
pip,
that,
I rolled a
think
pip.
with BUAs, if we had better looking ones that we wanted to use,
Yeah.
we will use them more often. Now, with that said, I've got my early Anglo-Saxon village that I have no problem using it as a hamlet. Because basically it gets treated as...
Woods. No.
Is it rough
It's a
going?
plow. It's a you can
Yeah,
move
it's a rough
together,
going.
yeah.
So
It
you
just
get
blocks
the,
line
you
of
get
sight.
the ability of having something that looks cool that kind of ties in what time period, what area you're playing in,
Yeah.
model some buildings. But it's hokey in that taking a standard DBA. It's hokey in that you can storm a whole city in the scope of a DBA play. But it's just a game. I mean, DBA is a good game that encourages you, or at least for me, to read history. Not necessarily it's realistic at anything. It's just I don't know. I'm not knocking it. It's just what it is. I think that BUA is really cool if there's some kind of cool city or something that you made or something like that. What do you think?
Yeah. I'll unless I got blades or spear, I stay away from them anyways. I'm not gonna go mess with them.
They can tie up a lot of ground.
Because you need a blade, and then a couple other support elements to take it. And if it's just the city itself, it's only worth one, so that's not worth it.
If there's a guy in there, two.
Yeah. If you don't have a camp and that's your camp 2, then it's worth 2. And if there's somebody in there, it's worth 3. And if it's a general in there, it's worth 4.
or a double depth blade or something like that in there.
Yeah.
And then he's also worth an extra one.
Yeah.
So you could lose the game by taking it.
Yeah.
You could lose the BUA. You get the BUA taken, and you have you don't have a camp, and you have a
deep unit in
a deep blade in there, and he gets killed too.
Yep. And then
that's how you win the game. You go in there and go, ding ding. Oh, who's that? Landshark.
Or if they got a general in there. Okay.
Well,
one combat done.
That's only happened one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
But you did win.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah,
I got it.
Every time it's happened, you've won.
Yes, that's right.
You've never lost a game when your opponent put a general in the city.
I've done it like that
every time. Okay, it's foolproof. I don't see how your opponent could win if he puts his general in the city.
Neither can I.
Oh man. The rewrite killed DBM. DBA is more like older DBM. Okay. Good night, good night. Hi, Greg. Wasn't going to name names. Okay, yeah. No, so, yeah, we enjoy it. But it's just a game.
Yep, exactly.
It's just a game. So it just encourages you to build other armies and stuff like that.
And you get together camaraderie and talk and.
No, the reality is you can build, you can paint a small amount of units or buy them, and it's not a tremendous amount of money. If you're done in a situation where your game is done, you're in a matchup that just isn't going to work. In about 50 minutes, you're done with the battle. You don't have to see that son of a bitch anymore, unless you come over to his freaking house every week. Okay, but in a tournament setting, I've played. I think I looked it up. I played like 140 different people. Maybe, and I'm going to exaggerate. Maybe four of those I don't want to see again. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe 4. So it's and a lot of that helps whether pre-measuring and all that stuff. That it's just a friendly atmosphere.
Yep.
You're not suffering for very long, and
that's pretty good odds.
Yeah, so that's pretty good odds. So, and then the other thing is that you're not going to have this game where you're sitting
a whole day
in a hopeless situation and you can't do anything else. You can't go to see the vendors. You can't do all this other stuff. You're held captive.
Yeah.
If it sucks, you can you can move on to something else. If you're kicking my ass, I'm rolling the same amount of dice opposed to you. So if you're rolling a 6, but I roll a 6 as well, I'll probably be okay.
Yep.
So there's a vested interest in every single combat. It's not like, well, let me know when your advancing fire phase is over with, and I'll come back from having a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So it keeps the interest of both people. And the one thing that maybe most people don't consider is, because this is a game where you have 12 elements, and as soon as you kill 4 of them, or the equivalent of 4 of them, the game is over. only a third loss. If you killed your opponent unless you've got like something that went into overtime, you're a reasonable amount of distance behind the other guy where you can still catch up and win yourself. So it's not like it's a war of annihilation and you're 80% dead. There's no way you're going to come back. But it's a 4-hour game and you're stuck there having to suffer with, it's like you're not going to win, move on kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have a chance to win all the way up until the last bound. It just sure seems that way.
It does.
So a lot of those
and
things.
It has. I've seen it.
Yeah, I've
seen.
How's the saying go?
I've seen people down 3-0 and come back.
No, what's the saying go?
I've been on both sides of it.
No, I've captured defeat from the. I've
snatched.
I've snapped. That's the word. Snatched. Can I say that on live? Snatched.
Sorry, kids.
Okay. Moist. Oh, can't say that one either. I've snatched defeat from the jaws of victory before. I've been up 3 elements, 3-0, and lost. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Nothing the unexpected.
I've been on both sides of that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Oh my gosh. Rick says, have you ever lost your general to a camp? So in other words, you take a camp with a general and you lose and the camp kicks your general's ass. No.
I've never had it. No.
I don't think I've ever had a general attack a camp.
No. I know I haven't done that. He's too busy doing other things.
That's not his main job.
Yeah.
His main job is not punch the hole. He's
what kind of women they got.
Look, that guy has first pick. So what's his incentive to go do recon?
Hey, you go get the women. We're gonna go win this
You
fight.
get the ladies, and then we'll check out what they look like and we'll have first dibs on them. Hey, what's the incentive?
Don't touch nobody until after the battle.
Until I give the word. Well, we're coming with you. No ifs. I've never had a general attack a camp.
Me neither.
Or if I did, it wasn't very memorable.
Yeah. And I've never had a guy use his general attack in camp either.
Have you ever had a knight general attack an elephant general?
Yes!
Did it work?
Yeah!
Lunatic.
Oh, works every time.
Yeah. That's why your crest of arms has a freaking pot plant on it.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Oh. Michael, happy to admit great failures. I seem to recall it was an ox attacking and ox defending. Have you ever seen someone put their general in a fort BUA? Yes, I have.
Yes.
Oyster West. And then lose the game when it got taken in the first few turns of the game due to literal... not due to a literal landing.
Oh, not literal.
Not literal landing.
No.
We've seen a BUA next to a waterway very few times.
Yeah.
Very few. Like, I would never do it.
Yeah.
I'm not man enough to do that stuff, okay? A lot of it is that, if I had a BUA that had like a waterway on it, a lot of it is, I think the BUA rules is like, oh, we've got this model of the Acropolis. Well, how do we work that in the game so that it looked cool? And I think that's when you start thinking of it in that respect.
Yeah.
Then it, makes more sense.
Yeah.
Forts are okay. They don't cost anything. You got to put one dude in there.
You have to put somebody in to start the game.
And they can control. Well, first of all, they can go within 6 base widths of 2 edges. So that's actually a pretty big area.
I think that's 6.
Yeah, so they can... You can put a fort there. And that son of a bitch can be there, exerting all kinds of... Because it's got a threat zone. It can shoot.
Yep.
Now, artillery now... only shoot as a +2.
Yeah.
But they can shoot, 5 out from that could be, if you've got a way to block this, that's pretty freaking nasty. Even with a bow, they can go all the way. The bow can control an area all the way out here. So yeah, that's a nuisance.
Yeah.
That's a big nuisance. So, I've always said that one thing that's actually useful is if you can put a BUA down as the Mongols and put the artillery piece in there, even though it's not very strong, he can still control a relatively big area.
Yeah.
So.
It'd be devastating to other archers because there are two to two.
What do you mean? Against artillery?
Yeah.
But if they attack this, it would be a bigger number.
Yeah.
For the defender.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, so that's we've seen we've put BUAs. I've put down BUAs several times, but it's usually as a hamlet, or a what's the thing my Irish have?
Oh, the
edifice.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon eggs.
Dragon eggs.
Yeah, the dragon eggs.
Get your dragon eggs.
But actually, putting down a city and not really.
Yeah.
If you put a city here in the corner, and you set up. Your opponent gets to pick the side. You can pick a side that's right next to the city and literally set up within strike distance of the city right off the bat. We've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
So, there's no point in helping your opponent out,
Especially if you put somebody in there and don't have a camp. That's 3 points. That's two.
And if he's a general.
Yeah, and he's really looking good.
Yeah, because that's the one thing. If the BUA, you have your regular setup area that is. Where's your other thing here? This is your regular setup area. Everything can go in this zone here, and your camp has to go against this back edge. But a BUA can be here in the corner, and you can place a guy in the BUA, regardless of what he is.
Yep.
Because you can't put anybody in this zone here. Well, if there's a BUA here, you can place a guy in.
Yeah.
So you could put the overall general in.
By the time these guys get there, they should have it.
Well, he could also be. Remember, this is your setup here area here, right?
Yeah.
But you actually could put your BUA outside the setup area.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're still going to take a turn or two to support.
I mean, if you're a sadist,
yeah,
you could put a guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then put and then put the general there. I mean, if you're that sadist,
come save me.
Yeah, so forts definitely. I know Scott likes to put forts down, and other BUAs. I'm not comfortable enough with some of these things. I don't want to do something that's like, man, I could have won the game had I not
done that.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing of. That's the way I feel about General Hills. I don't want to put a General Hill down and then it's like, crap, this guy picked exactly where it goes, kind of thing. But I've never seen a literal landing and a BUA happen at the same time. Okay, so 9 likes, so this was definitely popular.
All right.
Maybe next time we have a video that is short, we'll do this again. But
until then,
maybe you guys, if you got any more questions, you can just add them on here, and then we'll next time we do one of these live videos.
Try and address it.
Well, we didn't do any live. We did the last live video we did was about this time last year.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah, remember we were going to say, hey, we're going to do this at Recon, and we're going to do this at Historic, and then, and that brought across the frickin' disease, the plague across humanity.
Sorry about that, guys. It was our fault.
So we're not doing that shit no more, okay? It's obvious that there's things at work that don't control us.
Yeah. Wow.
There's somebody in Wuhan going, we're going to make you eat your words.
We'll fix them.
Yeah. So we're not going to do all that.
Yeah.
Even though we had really cool things planned for that, so...
Really?
We got more videos coming, and like I said before, I would rather us not have shows and just keep the videos going, because I think we have more of an influence on other people. These rules are great, but I don't blame you guys for not being able to pick up where they, without playing a game. Now, I will say that a lot of people are like, hey, you need to make your games a little bit more user-friendly. Go back and watch our earlier videos.
Yes.
The earlier videos we do, the more we explain things.
Everything.
But you guys, you can't jump in DBA 3.301 if you haven't finished doing DBA 101.
Yeah.
Okay, so
go back to the early ones.
Go to the early ones.
Everything.
Just put it on there. Paint some figures. You know, like you don't do. Okay. Just have it in the background.
Yeah.
And you might learn something. So, anyhow, yeah, there's lots of stuff on there. I don't know how many videos we've done on there. Maybe 150. A lot. So, and more coming. So.
But go to the early ones if you want the steps A through Z.
Yeah, and make sure you get this. This is on the Society of Ancients website. This is probably the easiest DBA cheat sheet. It's available for free. They do something weird, like you've got to send them. You've got to pretend like that you're buying something, but then they send you the free download. They didn't used to do that before, but they do that now. You wouldn't know, but anyhow,
I don't have a copy
you go
machine.
on to the Society of. You don't have a what?
Copy machine.
Oh, it's not a copy machine. It's a.
Oh,
You have a computer?
No.
No. You gonna get one?
No.
Anyhow, so this is on the Society of Ancients website, and you can download it for free. But I think you have to pretend like you're purchasing something for 0.0, and because it is a download that you have to kind of purchase or whatever. But even though it doesn't cost anything, but this is the best thing out there for learning how to play the games. I don't know if there's any mistakes on it. There
that one's pretty
might
good.
be, but
I think that one's good. It's the older ones, the first ones that came out, but that one's really, I don't think.
yeah, this is really easy to understand what's going on there.
Yeah.
So, and these things, this is 2 files. It's available on the Facebook pages of DBA, and there's one called De Bellis Antiquitatis, and there's another one, DBA and Hordes of the Things. They're both in the files section. It's 2 different files. I believe one is called, it's like Setup Guide 3.0 left hand, Setup Guide 3.0 right hand. Print them out, mount them on cardboard, and boom, this could save you a lot of time. And it has the information here on what you can set up where, the different terrain types, what's compulsory, what is optional terrains. Really easy to get the game going smoothly, and you just put it down here in a corner and just set up on the corner. So that's also another really useful thing that Mr. Don Harding made for us, and we've used ever since. It's better than trying to find where the corners are with the dice. So,
That's you, Don.
yeah, he's big in a cave and somewhere. Oh, we got more questions. Last couple questions. Rick, the gold star goes to Rick. Have you ever ended, won or lost a battle with only shooting before any elements got into combat? Absolutely. Absolutely. I have probably won more games that way than lost more games. Oh, I'm a bow whore.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Because you take no risk. You take no risk. You can
one
throw
army.
all the ones in the world if you're just shooting and nobody's shooting back at you.
Plus your that one army you got.
Oh, the Burgundians?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
He has to win that way.
I have to win that way. Yeah, they're a keep away. They're definitely an exercise in keep away.
Yeah.
For sure. I know sometimes Tony and the guys do those special scenarios like Death from Above where there's a ton of range elements. I ever wonder how common it was in a typical battle. It's not that uncommon.
Yeah.
If you know how to use bow.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is you go through these games and everybody has a different opinion, which I think is kind of cool. But some people will be like, bows suck. And I say, if you think bows suck, you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
Because bow can... Now, I don't think there's one element that is better than any other element, but everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Except warband.
Yeah, I like fast warband, slow warband, and slow auxilia.
Oh, you don't like slow auxilia just because they lost 6 games in a row to you.
Oh.
I bet if I was playing Scott, I would have won. Maybe you're just really good at fighting auxilia.
Slow people. I like speed.
Do you?
I like speed. I mean, solid blades and pikes and all that are cool, but fast elements, they sure do help.
I'll take them both. I like them all. And I kid about the warband. I don't like when my battle plan for winning the battle has to include warband doing well. I don't like them because they're just too flaky.
Yeah, it's not going to help
It's too
that
flaky.
much. But you might get a cheap one out of them.
Maybe. But
and if that's all you got, well, you better make it good. Come up with something.
okay. Anything else before we sign off here? Blade. Okay.
Blade.
I like Blade.
Blade rule. No, they're good. I like the
Blade.
like you said, combination of knights, blades, and bow.
I don't want one of that one element. I mean, it's not like I don't like knights, but
Yeah.
I like to paint them, but I don't want one element.
No.
You know.
Because blade don't hold up too good against elephants. That's a weakness.
If you did have all of one element, though, I think all blades or all spear would probably do okay.
Yeah. They're solid. High numbers.
Yeah. They can survive a -1
Yeah.
or a -2 sometimes. So.
Depending on what they're up. Well, hope you guys enjoy.
Yep. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. This is ooh, it's late.
I'm off.
Yeah. What time are you waking up tomorrow?
Oh, I gotta take my daughter to school.
What? That wasn't the question. 6, 7?
6:40 we get up.
Okay. That's the time I wake up on Saturdays.
That's
that's the time I wake up my daughter up on Saturdays to go swim.
Ooh.
But I wake up at 5 in the morning, including this morning.
No.
So we got some videos coming up. You guys should see part 1 of an unboxing and whatever battles we played tonight, which
regular game.
might involve some of these elements that you see here, or they may not.
Or not.
Okay. All right, folks. Until next time, Mitch and Tony signing out, and
Enjoy.
Keep on gaming, painting, and
Enjoy gaming.
yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. I know it should fall on deaf ears because everybody's subscribed already, but although there's some people that think the subscribing costs them money, it doesn't. You just press a button,
There you go.
and then every time something comes up, you go, "Hey, Tony has something new," and then you go,
There it
"Oh,
is.
watch this video
Oh,
or
it's
whatever."
painting.
Oh, him again. Hey, now. Yeah, I do that for me, so
Game.
Anyhow, all right. Until next time, folks. You have a
Enjoy.
good evening and happy
Stay
February,
safe.
which I just found out today. That's the first day of February.
Oh, it is first day, yeah.
Yeah,
Feels like day 2.
February.
Almost day 2.
How do you spell that? February.
Capital L.
Okay. Until next time, folks. Bye bye.
See you.